Hey there, fellow architecture enthusiast. Buckle up, because today we're time traveling into the future of buildings, design, and maybe even entire cities. And our vehicle.
You guessed it, AI.
That's right. We're going from the blueprints AI sketching right now to the mind-blowing structures we might inhabit down the line.
So, no sci-fi daydreams here. We're talking real-world impact people. By the end of this deep dive, you'll be able to drop AI architecture knowledge at your next cocktail party. And trust me, everyone's going to want to hear about this.
They really will. This isn't just about what AI can do, but how it's already changing the game. Let's start with something called generative design.
Okay, I'm picturing robots with tiny hard hats and blueprints. Am I close?
Not quite. Think of it more like AI being your super-powered brainstorming partner. You feed it your needs, limitations, desired materials, even the climate of the building site. And boom.
The AI spits out not one, but thousands of potential designs.
Whoa, back up. Thousands. My brain would short-circuit trying to visualize that many options.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. We humans, we get stuck in our ways. But AI.
It explores every angle, every possibility, coming up with stuff we might never even have dreamed of.
Okay, but this has got to be for those big shot architecture firms, right? The ones with names you can barely pronounce.
Nope. While it's true, those firms, like Zaha Hadid Architects, are using it to make their already futuristic buildings even more wild.
Wait, really? Like those buildings that look like they defy gravity?
Exactly. They're using AI, specifically genetic algorithms, to design these incredibly complex shapes. But even if you're not building the next Guggenheim, there's software like Autodesk's Dreamcatcher.
Autodesk, as in the guys behind all the design software. So this is accessible.
Totally. Any architect can use it to test out thousands of designs, making sure the buildings look good and are structurally sound.
It's like having a structural engineer and an art critic rolled into one. No more, oh no, the roof's gonna cave in moments. But I gotta ask, this all sounds great for individual buildings, but what about entire cities? Cities are basically giant, messy puzzles, right?
You're not wrong. But even those puzzles can get some AI help. We're talking smarter, more efficient, and, dare I say, more livable cities.
Okay, sign me up. But how? Does AI just magically make traffic disappear and ensure everyone has a park view?
I wish it were that simple. But think about all the data cities generate. Traffic patterns, weather, population density, even things like where people like to shop or go for walks. AI can crunch all that data, spotting patterns we'd miss, and then use it to design better cities.
So, like, instead of just guessing where to put a new park or bus stop, city planners can use AI to find the absolute best spot.
Exactly. And it's not just about reacting to the now. Imagine an AI that could predict how a city will grow, what the needs of its people will be in 10, 20 years. That's powerful stuff.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. But before we go full Jetsons, let's talk about something that's a big deal right now, sustainability.
You're right. We can't ignore the environmental cost of all this. And this is where AI becomes a true game changer, especially when it comes to designing greener buildings.
Okay, so we're not just talking about slapping some solar panels on a roof and calling it a day.
No way. This is next level stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine you're designing a building. AI can simulate how that building will perform in its environment before a single brick is laid.
Wait, really? Like a virtual wind tunnel test, but for the entire building?
Even better. AI considers sun exposure, wind patterns, even the materials used, and figures out how to optimize energy usage. You can test different designs to see which is the most efficient before you even break ground.
That's insane. It's like having a crystal ball for energy bills, and companies are actually doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. AirUp, a global engineering firm, is at the forefront of this. They use AI to analyze tons of data to see how energy efficient a building is and how that might change over time.
Okay, so AI is like a built-in sustainability consultant. This is huge. But I gotta imagine this tech is still pretty exclusive, right?
Not necessarily. AI can also be used to retrofit older buildings, making them more energy efficient. So even buildings that weren't designed with sustainability in mind can get a green upgrade. It's about making smarter use of what already exists.
I love it. This is what I'm talking about, real solutions. All right, we've tackled design, but what about the actual construction process itself? Is AI hammering nails and pouring concrete yet?
Not quite hammering nails yet, but pretty darn close. Honestly, after learning about all this design stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if AI could build a whole house before I finished making a sandwich.
You might be surprised at how close we're getting. But before we get into robots on the job site, let's talk about something called prefabrication.
Okay, I'm picturing those tiny houses they build in a factory and then just plop down on a foundation. Is that even remotely right?
You're on the right track. Prefabrication is basically building parts of a structure off-site in a controlled factory setting and then assembling them on location. And AI is making this process even smarter and more efficient.
Smarter how? Does the AI pick out the best throw pillows for the prefab living room too?
Not exactly. AI is involved in optimizing both the design and manufacturing of those prefab components, ensuring they fit together perfectly, minimizing waste, and speeding up the construction process significantly.
Ah, got it. So it's like a giant high-tech Lego set where all the pieces are precision cut by AI. And less waste means it's better for the environment, right?
Exactly. Plus, imagine the possibilities for affordable housing. AI could help design and build high-quality prefabricated homes at a fraction of the cost and time of traditional construction.
Now that would be a game changer. But let's not forget about those robots on the job site. How are they being used in construction?
We're still in the early stages, but AI-powered robots are already being used for tasks like welding, bricklaying, even concrete pouring, jobs that can be dangerous and physically demanding for humans.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not about replacing human workers, but making their jobs safer and more efficient.
Exactly. Think of it as a collaboration between human expertise and robotic precision. And this is just the beginning. Imagine drones equipped with AI that can inspect buildings for structural flaws or sensors that monitor air quality in real time.
Whoa, hold on. Are we talking about buildings that can tell you if the air inside is unhealthy? That's some next level stuff.
That's just a glimpse of what's possible with AI. But all this talk of robots and sensors makes me think about something else we need to discuss. Building information modeling, or BIM.
Okay, I gotta admit, that sounds a bit intimidating. Is this like the Matrix for buildings? Do I need to know how to code to understand it?
Not at all. Imagine you have a digital twin of your building, but instead of just looking like the building, it contains every single detail about it. The materials, the electrical systems, the plumbing, everything.
So it's like a giant interactive 3D model of the building that you can explore from your computer.
Precisely. And AI is taking BIM to a whole new level. It can analyze all that data in real time to detect potential problems before they even happen. Like imagine the AI flagging a pipe that's slightly off, preventing a potential leak down the line.
No more surprise plumbing emergencies. My landlord would love this. But seriously, this sounds incredibly powerful. It's like having X-ray vision for buildings.
It's a game changer for sure. And the best part, the AI is constantly learning from the data it collects, getting better at predicting and preventing problems in future projects.
So every building built with AI makes the next one even smarter. That's incredible. It's like this virtuous cycle of innovation.
Exactly. And this brings us to some truly mind-blowing possibilities. We've talked about AI responding to data, but what about buildings that can actually adapt to their environment in real time? That's the idea behind adaptive architecture.
Okay, now you're just messing with me. Adaptive architecture, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Imagine a building's facade that changes with the weather. If it's a hot day, the exterior adjusts to deflect sunlight and keep the building cool. On a cloudy day, it opens up to maximize natural light.
Whoa, hold on. We're talking about buildings that can literally change their shape or appearance on demand? That's insane. What would be the benefit of that?
Well, for one, it would dramatically reduce energy consumption. Imagine a building that can regulate its own temperature and lighting by simply adapting to the environment. No more blasting the AC on a hot day or relying on artificial light when it's overcast.
That's amazing. It would be like having a building that's in perfect harmony with nature. But how far off is this technology? Are we talking about something we might see in our lifetime?
We're already seeing early versions of adaptive architecture today. There are buildings being designed with dynamic facades that can adjust to changing light conditions, and the technology is only going to get more sophisticated from here.
So adaptive architecture is more of an evolution than a revolution. It's taking what we can do now and making it even smarter and more responsive.
Precisely. But if adaptive architecture is the evolution, then autonomous design systems might just be the revolution. And trust me, you're going to want to hear about this.
Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity. Autonomous design systems. Does that mean what I think it means? Are we talking about AI designing entire buildings on its own?
You got it. We're talking about AI potentially handling a huge chunk of the design process, from generating initial concepts and running simulations to producing detailed construction blueprints.
Hold on. Does that mean architects are going to be out of a job? Should I be sending my architect friends a thinking of you card?
Absolutely not. Architects will always be essential. They're the visionaries, the ones who understand the needs of the people who will actually use these buildings. But AI can free them from a lot of the tedious, repetitive tasks.
So it's less about replacing architects and more about giving them superpowers.
Exactly. Imagine being able to say, okay, AI, I need a sustainable office building with lots of natural light and a rooftop garden. And the AI generates a bunch of options that meet those requirements.
That's incredible. It's like having a design assistant that never sleeps and can explore thousands of possibilities at once.
And it wouldn't just be about speed and efficiency. AI could analyze data about how people interact with buildings, using that information to design spaces that are more comfortable, productive, and enjoyable to be in.
So we're talking about buildings that are not just beautiful, but actually make our lives better.
I love it.
Okay, we've covered design and construction, but you keep mentioning these smart cities. What's the big picture here?
Imagine a city where buildings aren't just standalone structures, but are interconnected and communicate with each other, kind of like a network.
Okay, now I'm really picturing something out of the Jetsons. Buildings talking to each other, what would they even say?
Think less about chit-chat and more about data. They'd be sharing information on things like energy consumption, occupancy levels, even air quality.
So if one building has a power surge, the others can compensate and prevent a blackout.
Exactly. Or imagine a traffic jam. Buildings could tell self-driving cars the best routes to take, easing congestion in real time.
Wow, this is next level stuff. But how does AI actually make this happen?
AI acts as the brain of the smart city, analyzing massive amounts of data from sensors all over the urban environment. It's like having a citywide nervous system that's constantly monitoring and adjusting to keep things running smoothly.
So AI can make our cities more efficient, more sustainable, and maybe even help us avoid those rush hour meltdowns. Sign me up.
I think we're all ready for that. And that's the exciting part. AI has the potential to revolutionize not just the way we design and build buildings, but the way we live in and interact with our cities.
You've given us so much to think about today. We've gone from robots on construction sites to buildings that adapt to the weather. It's clear that AI is going to play a huge role in shaping the future of our built environment.
Absolutely. It's an incredibly exciting time to be involved in architecture, and I can't wait to see what amazing innovations we come up with next.
And that, my friend, is a wrap on our deep dive into the world of AI and architecture. We've explored the present, pondered the near future, and even taken a peek into a world of truly smart cities.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And now we want to hear from you. How do you think AI will change the way we live, work, and interact with our built environment? Head over to our show notes for links to explore the companies and projects we talked about today, and be sure to share your thoughts. Until next time, keep looking up and imagining the possibilities.